Hello, I'm Bob Stanley, and I'm here with Peter Wiggs and Richard X, and we're going to talk about Foxbase Alpha and Foxbase Beta.
Hello.
Hello, this is Pete Wiggs' voice.
This is Richard.
Okay, here we go.
So, here we are.
Listening to, this is Radio Etienne.
Yeah, this is the start of our lovely journey throughout Foxbase land. This was actually there was a conceptual side to doing Foxbase Beta earlier on, which was this idea of the journey and the cab journey being a quintessentially Saint-Et kind of thing. And then it sort of got a bit forgotten about. So this was originally the demo vocal to set the scene. So we've got a cab driver, which is Martin Kelly.
Our manager.
We've got Bob, who's... I think that was recorded completely separately in the mastering room.
Yeah.
Mine was recorded in the heavenly offices.
And I was transmuted into a muted trumpet.
A talking trombone or something, a Charlie Brown.
Yes, which I was very grateful for.
Yeah. So actually, it's very short. That you can't really say a lot about that without going straight into the next track.
I remember recording the French radio thing when I was in Paris.
Oh, was that?
Sitting in on a Saturday night, which is when French football takes place, not in the afternoon. So.
Okay.
Desperately waiting for him to say St Etienne, who I think were a second division team at the time.
There was a lot of recording off the telly and the radio and stuff, wasn't there, on this album?
Yeah. Before I spent every evening in the pub, I had no money, so
pre-internet
sat at
as well.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked a lot of that. In fact, it's kind of like similarly when I was redoing some of this, in the spirit of things, I used like a few samples off MP3s and very low quality sources, thinking, this is kind of the equivalent of what you would have done at the time. Just tape it off the telly. Why bother looking for a high quality version of it?
Yeah. Well, we really didn't have any option. It was before. It would have just been like a Walkman as well.
Yeah.
Recording off the telly. I've sort of moved up to mini disc now. But,
we were fairly unaware of sample rates and what that meant.
Good. So I am still.
Yes.
But so this is Only Love Can Break Your Heart, obviously.
Yeah, and I think this is the song that people are most sort of afraid of hearing a remix or reworking of. It's the test of whether they're going to like what's to come.
I suppose so. Yeah. This is it is a bit of a challenge. But it actually has been remixed quite a few times now. Not for a while, but obviously the Weatherall mix at the time was kind of revolutionary and one of those great mixes that summed up. In fact, a remix that was as valid as your original one. Bringing some, and the classic bit in the middle with the DJ raising the spliff to his lyrical lips and that, and then. I was kind of thinking we could do like one where there's 3 sections, have a mix of 3 halves in reference to his 2 halves. Just go that 50% better. Do a mix of 3 halves. And this was with Moira Lambert.
Moira Lambert, yeah. He was a friend of Dan, your brother.
Yeah, from a group called Faith Over Reason. Croydon Connection.
Got Frank Music doing vocals on their next album.
Yeah.
And Roy Hudd.
Roy Hudd, yes. All the Croydon alumni. When I was going through the tapes of this, because obviously to redo a lot of the album, I had to go back to the original master tapes and the original Atari discs. So this was coming up to 20 years ago. And this shared a tape with Kiss and Make Up, which was actually the first St Etienne recording, was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. We did 2 songs in a day. Just saved up to go to Ian Catt's studio, which we knew about because we were friends with Mark, who was the bassist in the Field Mice, another Croydon group. And I think it was like 200 quid for a day.
200 quid.
Really cheap, but we had to save up 200 quid.
It's a month's wages.
Low paid jobs.
Probably was.
But the funny thing was that when I was going through it, there was you'd spent a lot of time on Kiss and Make Up, which isn't the version that eventually came out. It was kind of a very guitar orientated version, and this was a bit of a 1 hour, 2 hour special, wasn't it? The original Only Love Can Break Your Heart.
Yeah.
Not long was spent on it, was it?
No, it's very, very quick. That's interesting you mentioned that version of Kiss and Make Up, 'cause I was wondering where the tapes were.
Oh yeah, well, I've got
You've got them. Okay, great.
We can
That's
run
a bonus track we forgot to
something else
include.
to-
I haven't started burning them
Dig
yet, so if you want, yeah, we can run that one off if you want. So anyway, yeah, no, that's finished now. So can we talk about the next one?
I think we should. Oh yeah, this one. Well, this was basically a bass line off a Wilson Pickett record.
Right. Okay.
Not a bass line, an organ sample, sorry. And a decimal currency training package record. I've had a jumble sale in about 1982 or something.
I was very surprised to hear the original record, and I've cut in a few extra value for money bits from that to add to this version. It's kind of a bit unremixable, this track, isn't it, really? Let's face it. There's not really much of a modern day precedent for this track. Although at the time, the De La Soul thing was obviously a reference point for this, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Sort of anglicised version.
The Transmitting Live from Mars, was that what it was called?
I think so, yeah, it's French.
It was the French
language
samples,
thing,
and this was
wasn't
the very English flip side version of it all. An absolute classic, and one of the lines that the "Would you like some sweets, Willie?" I remember at the time it would seem to sort of crop up randomly in the press, and it was even on a record, wasn't it? On the what was the right said phrase?
Yeah, Rocking Birds.
The Rocking Birds. What was it with their track?
I did Deeply Dippy.
Dippy.
Yeah, and right at the end threw in a bit of a Say It reference.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, which we didn't notice, and I think they sort of they sent it to us saying, "What do you think of this then?" And we're like, "Yeah, sounds good." Didn't notice that, and
Yeah, felt really
they were
bad.
upset.
They put
Upset
all
Rocking Birds.
that work they put in. But yeah, it's a fascinating record. It was part of the transition from decimal to decimal currency, and this is hence the name Wilson. Harold.
That's the reason, yeah.
Harold Wilson.
Yeah.
See, I learnt a lot going through all the tapes and going through all your references and stuff. I didn't know any of this. I just wondered why. Why is it called Wilson?
It's because it's a Wilson Pickett sample.
I thought it was Harold Wilson. Is that not the case?
Someone wrote this amazing thesis about this song on the internet.
Yeah, it's
A guy
fantastic.
called Robin Carmody, who's
Right.
I think that's how you pronounce his name, who's thinks a lot about music and sees things in it that nobody else can see.
Oh, so is that where I might have picked this up?
Yeah,
from?
Yeah, I guess
it makes
so,
us
yeah.
look incredibly intelligent.
But it was great. It's very good analysis.
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
it's always nice when people don't analyse your music and come up with ideas that you wish you'd thought of, but I think they're in there anyway.
But you can later claim as your
Yeah,
own, of
yeah.
course.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a
just-
double-edged thing. Harold Wilson bringing in decimal currency and Wilson Pickett sample. We could say that now.
It's great.
Yeah.
You can perpetuate all these different myths about an 18-year-old track on your album. I like that. So moving
Can't
on.
sleep. Yeah.
Just can't sleep.
So I was going to say at the start, I think people probably shouldn't listen to this commentary before they've actually enjoyed the new music on Foxbase Beta.
No, I don't think so.
Because the one thing I loved about Foxbase Alpha was the detail that you could get into it when you used to listen to it. There was just those little accidental vocals or strange sounds or ambiences in the background, and I spent a long time listening to it and listened to it for mmany years. And I'd like to think with this version, there's similar little things hidden away. So if we sort of point them out to everyone, it sort of ruins the
magic of
discovery, the
discovery.
journey. You know, we're on a journey, that cab journey
Cab
across
journey.
London.
Yeah.
A magical cab journey.
I was thinking it could be a bit like Life on Mars originally, you know, where it kind of you're asleep, you two are asleep in the back of a cab, and there's sort of an accident. Hence, there was a large explosion at the start of Only Love Can Break Your Heart, and then you were thrown into this sort of coma-like world. Is this distasteful? Anyway, you're thrown into this coma-like world.
disrespecting it.
It's quite accurate.
Yeah, it's only halfway through the album, briefly waking from sleep before at the end, obviously.
That's the unrealistic
perishing.
bit.
But it's sort of like the concept got slightly changed along the way. Anyway,
I
this
didn't
is
realise it had changed. I still think of it being like that.
what of the Life on Mars version.
Yeah, there's sort of car crash
The car crash.
coming
Oh,
around
yeah,
at the
that's-
end.
that's- See, I don't
Or it
want to
could be
explain
that.
too much. It could be that. We don't want to ruin it for everybody.
No.
Anyway, so
So yeah, can't sleep.
Can't Sleep. Tell us about Can't Sleep.
Okay, well let's have a think. We were hanging around with John Savage quite a lot around this time, and he really liked Only Love Can Break Your Heart, and sort of took it upon himself to be like a mentor, and used to make us like tapes. Oh, you know, never heard much doo-wop. He'd like make us tapes from his record collection. There's a King Tubby compilation, and the bass line on one of the tracks on the compilation, we pinched We Can't Sleep. The title's probably taken from the Lars.
Oh, right.
I Can't Sleep was on the Lars album, which I was very fond of. I'd totally forgotten that, and I heard it in the Wenlock the other night. They're playing the Lars album, and it still sounded great. And there was I Can't Sleep. I thought, oh yeah. So I think it was a good title at the time, and half pinched it with a Happy Mondays reference. Isn't it?
That's the additional
misspelling
R in can't. Yeah.
It's like Inglourious Bastards.
We'll have to bleep that out. Thanks for that.
It's the spelling's difference. That's okay.
Yeah. Great vocal from Sarah on this. I mean, a lot of the vocals on this Foxbase beta are the original vocals. It's kind of stylistically one of the big changes. Is this? There was this sort of wash of reverb all over Foxbase Alpha that helps give that dreamy quality, and I think that's probably one of the main things that's changed. Really, it's just stylistically putting things up a bit front. He says just as the most reverby vocal comes in the background. But
yeah, we were kind of obsessed with reverb, partly as a kind of means of getting a sort of Phil Spector kind of sound, but also as a means of using fairly cheap keyboards that sounds didn't sound that good, but you could add reverb and compression to get more of a nice sound out.
To make it sound like you spent some money. No, I remember at the time it did sound very different, and it did hark back to the sort of echo chamber and the Spectre kind of the wall of sound thing, but in a very different way, and it did feel like that dreaminess of the, it was very in the spirit of the times, wasn't it? And then that gets we were talking about the idea of like what dub being around at like the late 80s, and again in Lancashire we had Radio Lancashire, which used to play a lot of dub, and the On New Sound of Steve Barker, who was on the Wire, was the show, and it was kind of like I wasn't quite sure what was in the air, and there was sort of like it was just part of the spirit, wasn't it? Like whether it was in the Balearic-y kind of tracks or actual dub.
Trying to think things. Well, I mean, I was writing for Melody Maker at this point, so I was getting sent a lot of stuff. I used to get sent a lot of stuff by Greensleeves, so I used to get lots of sort of new reggae records, and which normally had a dub mix on the other side. Plus all the King Tubby stuff we were listening to. Maybe we should move on to the next track now.
They go a lot quicker, don't they, when you're talking?
When you're yakking.
Hopefully you're not talking through it when you listen to it.
Maybe we should ask for, listeners can send in their questions. Maybe I could give out your two email addresses, and they could ask you direct questions if we've skipped over it.
Yeah, seems fair enough.
So this is Girl 7.
Right, let's have a think about this one.
It was originally called Militaria. It's the working title.
Yeah,
because of the kind of military sounding beats.
Interestingly, I did note down, because on the master tapes that I waded through, and on the little Atari discs, there were a few alternate titles, and House was as I discovered, was Stone to say the least, and Vibes. I think it was just called Vibes. I think that was
is that Spring? Right?
Spring.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Goth, simply called Goth, was
like
a
the
swallow.
Yeah.
So it was. I presume because the disc could only store
Metal, was that on there?
Metal. I don't think was
no,
on.
No.
What was that?
I don't know. I was trying to think we're covering all genres.
It was kind of like, because you could only have 8 letters, I think, as the file name. So presumably that was why these things.
Excuse.
Thank you
for that.
Goth.
Militaria.
Militaria. Oh, that's a bit longer. And then we expanded to add the sort of Vogue-like section in the middle.
Madonna's Vogue.
Yeah, Madonna's Vogue. Yeah.
Name checking all sorts of random places.
Harlow. Should put Harlow in for a cross-reference with the Madonna record.
Some had more relevance than others were just randomly thrown in.
But obviously this takes on a weight of great weight when you're the listener, and you're kind of imagining this kind of the Saint Etienne world, and obviously everything has to have some heavy duty, reference and meaning.
Some of them did. Some of them really did.
Yeah.
And so it's a mixture.
And the original Alpha for me straddled me coming down to London and leaving the north, and this section here was the impossible glamour of the Saint Etienne world, which I, you know, and when I came down to London, I thought, wow, this is incredible. And actually seeing some of these places, I thought, wow, this is a whole new world. It's kind of like, you know, when you get to Plumstead, it's kind of not quite what you envisaged from this beautiful monologue in the middle. It's an interesting side of London, but there are many sides of London, aren't there? So.
Yeah, I think it's well, at the time, I think we were sort of fascinated by all the bits of London you can see in the 80s that you never went through, like Haggerston, Shacklewell. Some places like Bedford. Not that Shacklewell gets mentioned in that list, but I don't know. Yeah, I love the tube map. I always loved the tube map before I moved to London. So I think because all three of us had just moved to London, it was like about sort of possibilities of London as much as what we already knew of London.
Yeah, because the name like Arnos Grove, we thought, I wonder what that's like. We never actually went there, but we thought this is. And when we were younger, me and Bob used to get bus journeys just because the name on the bus at the front, the destination sounded kind of interesting. We'd just go and see what it looked like. So it kind of harks back to that. Which wasn't that long before we recorded.
No.
And there's also there's a great bit in this, which one of my favourite bits at the time was the loop of Sarah's vocal, which I always used to think was saying razor waver. And then obviously there's various interpretations of that.
Carrie's got a boyfriend.
Carrie's got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Ways and away boy, and basically, so when we redid this, Sarah added a few vocals to this album, so we got her to redo each one of those. So when you listen to the last section, each of those phrases popping out randomly, so you're still not quite sure what it was originally. I know now, but I'm not going to spoil it.
We're going to keep the mystery.
Yeah, luckily I've forgotten.
You've forgotten what it is.
Yeah, so I'll never be able to give the secret away.
And again, this bit at the end, which I've just been talking over, was the track originally went into another track. It segued into this new instrumental section. So there's just like a little 20-second snippet of what was there.
So I remember that.
Yeah. No, I'd forgotten it until you remixed it.
All sorts of things on your
like the vibes on Wilson, which you also rescued from.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. That was from
track,
another track, yeah. Something that sounded a bit like the sort of music you'd hear in a supermarket.
Yeah, I think it was Black and Johnny Little, sort of vibes player. The Snapper by Johnny Little. Yeah, we just looped that and then did nothing with it. It's just something that we did.
It's just sitting there in the cupboard.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. I was saying before, there's a lot of laughter in a lot of the vocal takes. In fact, I think on this track as well, on Spring, there's a lot of laughter and noise, and it sounds like, when you were doing this, you were all sitting with Sarah in a room, inverted commas, encouraging her, often laughing, or it's sort of like
with a feather duster.
Yeah. Or Bob saying, "No, do it again, do it straight, so we can sample it." Things like that. But yeah, there is a lot of laughter and room noise, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't the most well insulated studio. I'm trying to think. It's probably not on the Ice Cream Van. Turned up on a couple of.
Yeah.
It's People Get Real, which is not on this, but on the bonus disc of Foxbase Alpha. That's got a really audible Ice Cream Van going by.
We like to leave things like that in because often they're created a sort of unusual surprise, even if it's very low in the mix.
Exactly, I think that's the detail thing that I was mentioning earlier. I love that sort of thing where you just hear, like later on, there's a sort of the recorder squeaking out of tune, and it just makes it a really unusual effect. So I did try and keep some of that in, rather than polish it to within an inch of it.
Yeah, no, I really like the fact this has got so many sort of rescued bits in the master tapes which completely forgotten about.
And this also has Debsy does a little guest appearance here, and she wasn't on the original. And this is because there was a trumpet on this which disappeared. It wasn't on the tape, it wasn't on the discs. But then I think it was you, Bob, that confessed that you always hated the trumpet.
I never. I don't think either of us liked it really.
And as you turned my voice into a trumpet earlier, I was furious. Let's turn Debsy into one.
So Debsy is honorary trumpet on this.
We hadn't met Debsy when we did this album. I think when we were doing a fanzine, we wrote to her, which is a band called Coming Up Roses, and she wrote back some quite blank answers. So we sort of never made it into the fanzine, but.
And you thought, yes, we'll work with this woman.
I can't think how we got in touch with her in the end after that.
because we were big fans of the Dolly Mixture and seen them play loads. And I'd met them once and embarrassingly, the only thing I'd think of saying was, "You're Rachel, aren't you?" And I said it to the wrong one, to Hester. So that immediately made me sort of retreat into a shell.
Where you've stayed ever since.
Yes, yeah. Please let me out. Yeah, so meeting Debs was thank God for that.
Yeah, so she's got an honorary place now on the Foxbase feed. So. Yeah, I think in the background there's a few little effects and a few little extra bits of Sarah in there. Yeah, it's a lovely track.
Yeah, I think we were listening to the Impressions as well at the time. It's definitely an Impressions influenced. So
here is where this is supposedly the halfway point, I think, through the journey, and we have the dulcet tones of Jeff Barrett coming in. You hear him there in the background.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, there he was.
What was he saying?
Talking some rubbish.
I never liked that band. Not that he's got an accent on it.
So that was that was temporarily waking up halfway through. Obviously, not encouraging people's voice levels or something.
Temporarily waking up and finding Jeff Barrett next to you.
Yeah. Happened to many people, I believe. So here we go. She's the one. So,
yeah, I love what you've done on this.
It's quite the most radical, I
yeah,
suppose,
it's
of
probably the biggest approach. Again, a track that even at the time didn't seem to be like anything else. Do you remember where it came from originally, the idea of it?
I can't. There's a Pet Shop Boys drum loop on it, but I can't. To be honest,
no, I can't.
Can't think what the. I mean, most of the songs I can remember. I can't remember where we got the idea for the structure, or. But no, this one I really can't. I like it though. It's
one of my favourites.
I think at the time, again, it was one of those things that made you think, oh, Saint Etienne are a bit different from the dance bands, in inverted commas at the time, because up until the album you'd had the sort of dance singles, and you were kind of like, to the untrained eye, you could have been in the same camp as, say, the 49ers or someone like some sort of Italian house group. And I think this was when it's interesting to see the idea of the album bringing more into your world and allowing you to show these different influences. And this was definitely, very unusual. No one else would have made this track at the time. And probably not since.
No. It was. I mean, the song itself is definitely like a girl group influence thing. A song called Dusty Springfield song called "Here She Comes," which is lyrically along the same lines as a very sort of classic. Or sort of Jolene, I suppose, another thing. Good-looking girl about to steal your boyfriend. The actual production I can't see.
Yeah, it sounds a bit different. I mean, like now, the idea of when we had the hammering snare thing all the way through, that was obviously taken from the section with the little vocal sample. And then we have a beautiful ambient section with the harmonica now.
Bass harmonica.
Was it a bass harmonica? Just slow it down.
It was a slowed down harmonica, but it's impersonating a bass harmonica. Which always sounds a bit like a steamboat. Bass harmonica. Nice sound.
And there's it's a Crystals reference at some point, isn't there?
Yeah. Which is a film just come out called.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We can cut that bit out actually. Completely irrelevant.
No, leaving it all in. This is all done live. And there's a prize for anyone who can name the new sample that comes in at the start and the end of this record. So we've spun in a new little sample. Here it comes, just around the corner.
Yeah, no, I don't know this.
No, you haven't got that in your collection, have you?
No, I don't think I have. No, don't recognise it.
Yeah.
You're not going to let
I thought it was something you'd created.
Don't tell anyone that.
So,
rewind. Okay, so you can edit that bit out as well.
Again, all the ambient noises, they're off the multi-tracks. All the sort of strange wind sounds. I did go, God knows what you're doing. There'll just be like a track of just like...
Really?
Presumably about to go into some beautiful symphony that you never quite got around to recording, but there's like all this noise.
Well, there was Smile, the Beach Boys' Smile was another big influence here, which again is like lots of stitched together bits. So I think we used to sort of start things and abandon them all the time.
Is that,
the first couple of albums.
Is it actual sort of air? Is there a wind, I mean, sound? Because I sort of vaguely remember actually going outside and just trying to record some.
Well, it sounds like some swooshing
ambience
thing put through some phaser flanger type
to make
effect.
you feel like you're outdoors kind of thing.
So you went outside and recorded the wind.
Yeah.
Happy days. So yeah, this is Don't Say the Least. It's changed slightly. It was quite long, wasn't it? I mean, it's shortened a bit. It was quite a long.
Yeah, perhaps over long. We used to, when we first started doing gigs or PAs, we used to start with this, and
end with it.
It still induces a lot of fear into me. We had a smoke machine that we used to turn on, and so I can almost smell that as soon as I hear it. Smell the fear.
Just hearing those opening bars brings it all back.
Yeah, we did. First PA we ever did was at Heaven. I can't think what the night was called, but it's some like now legendary.
Alice in Wonderland. Was it? Oh no. What's it called?
No, it was like a.
Yeah, it's an acid night, wasn't it?
No, it was.
I'm
like
getting
sort of
confused.
sort of a jungle night. With subsonic bass. Do you not remember? It was like so we were really nervous.
I remember
never been on stage before.
It felt like the wrong.
And it's a subsonic bass turning your stomach anyway. It was just like I was so nervous. I really thought I was going to throw up before we went on stage. And then when we went on, obviously playing something that's like 98 BPM, it's the last thing anybody there wanted to hear. So it was like how we got booked. I have no idea. It wasn't clever. With keyboards and ironing boards, no keyboard stands. Looked really stupid.
Yeah, sweet bracelets around our wrists,
Obviously.
Leading the pack, not following.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
Gold lame suits. Do we have them?
No,
we didn't have them.
God.
No, we had polo nets, white polo nets. Because it's really hot, I'm sweating.
Hadn't really thought it through, had we?
So there was a bit of a Trax Records sort of influence maybe on this kind of
Yeah,
thing.
definitely, yeah. Fingers Inc., Mr. Fingers stuff. Yeah.
Tried to retain a bit of that, use some of the old machines and stuff and keep it quite regimented, but there is an appearance from Sarah now that wasn't there originally. Reading some of the John Savage's sleeve notes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then I seem to remember there was a discussion about Myriad. Was it?
Oh yes.
Is it a Myriad or Myriad?
Myriad
sounds.
Yeah.
Without that.
It's technically correct.
Yeah, without Myriad. Is it Myriad of sounds?
Myriad of sounds.
Of was wrong.
Of was wrong.
Of is
I
wrong,
think we
yeah.
spent half an hour discussing it. I was probably still
The myriad
wrong.
ways you could say it.
But you, when you were doing this live, Sarah, recently, when she played cards at the side of the stage.
Sarah and Deb's playing poker.
Yeah. A little disrespectful. Have you thought about getting rid of her?
It's clearly the high point of the whole set. So.
So yeah, but this was again quintessentially part of what Foxbase Alpha's charm, wasn't it? You just have this next to what's coming up with Nothing Can Stop Us, just like a long. It did fit the mood though. I mean, this is a funny thing, listening back to all this. I mean, I loved it at the time, but having spent a couple of months going through it all, which I have, it's it's brought. I remember listening to this for the 7.5 minutes, thinking it was such a genius piece of music. That's what it was like. It was great.
It's all down to the programming and the position within the album, I think.
Oh yeah, that's it. The album structuring is a very important part here. And I was talking about when I was listening to this back at home. It was actually one of the first things I had on a CD. So I always listened to it as a whole piece of 45, 50-minute music. And I think that's what I tried to do with Foxbase. But it's obviously they're in the same order. Keep that flow and the idea of one, turning into the other, and there's sort of unexpected shock here and there. But you were saying about the structuring might have been influenced by OMD, possibly on the Dazzle Ships album.
Yeah, Dazzle Ships. I mean, there's a few albums. The Who Sell Out, Monkeys, soundtrack to Head for the Monkeys. Again, like Smile, things where there was get quite long songs than just sort of snippets of other bits, and it was all how they were stitched together that made them really work. The Dazzle Ships, I think we actually said in an interview in Managing Maker that Dazzle Ships was an influence on this album, and it was Jim Irvin interviewing us, and he literally didn't believe us. He's sort of taking the piss out.
It's funny, I was
He didn't believe anybody could like Dazzle Ships.
Well, no, I was a massive OMD fan, but even at the time, listening to this in whenever 91, I didn't actually get the relevance. I see it more now, obviously, but I think as a youngster, it was just another band that I loved. But so yeah, the OMD influence there is a bit of that, isn't there? On the album. There's later on. We'll have another talk about it.
Yeah,
bring him back.
Who's their biggest hit?
And was this the first song you recorded with Sarah? Or was
it's the first song we ever wrote as well.
Yeah.
A song, rather.
Non-cover, or just beats, collection of beats.
Great, another great single. Surprisingly slow, actually, when I was listening back to it again recently. Not that that's a bad thing.
No, I'd never thought of it that way. Got a bouncy bass line.
But a bit of a departure at the time, wasn't it? Really, from what I think people was it?
Yeah, totally.
How was it reviewed, and what was the critical response to it?
It was pretty positive, I think. We were getting a good review in The Face. I think Cheryl Garrett really liked it. Which meant a lot then.
I think we might have lost some people that thought we were more of a straight dance act. Who was it? I remember playing it to somebody in the back of a taxi. John, journalist from The Star.
Oh,
John Paul.
John Paul, yeah.
And it was one of the first people who'd heard it. So it was a test of our, newfound songwriting.
Was that the Morning Star or the Daily Star?
The Morning Star, of course. Yeah. He was blown away, and then so that set the tone. We were quite pleased, thinking, this is going to be okay.
And what did it get to in the end? What was the chart position?
54.
54. We've had a lot of 54s, haven't we?
What,
between
56?
us. Oh, 56.
Have you had a 54 as well? Then?
I think I've had a 54. Or was it 56? It's difficult. Anything outside the 50, and it's kind of like...
Yeah, but inside the top 65.
Yeah, top 65. That's good.
I'm sure it was an indie smash.
Yeah, and its influence far outweighs trivial things like chart.
Yeah, actually.
I think people assume it was a hit, but it's number one Billboard dance record, which made us front page of Billboard. That's quite.
And didn't it have a remix at the time which bore very little resemblance to it? Done like, was it Masters at Work or someone?
It was Masters at Work. Yeah, which people really liked, but we weren't very fond of.
It's funny, isn't it? Remixes.
Yeah.
They're kind of like. I mean, for a band like you, where the original is always like the be all and end all. I mean, it's funny, I suppose, remixing the whole of this album, in essence, which is what I'm doing. I obviously haven't turned it into a big rave up, but this is more like a companion piece, I think, now to the original. It hasn't destroyed the memory of Foxbase Alpha, but...
Silence.
Silence. I think for us, it's like we don't think the original is the be all and end all. I think if you're a fan, it probably that's probably more the case. But I think we always think we almost always pick who's going to do the remix, because those were American releases. We didn't have any choice in getting Masters at Work remixes. So Kenny Dope Gonzalez did one, I think. Or Roger Sanchez, who was it?
Yeah, he did one. Kissing Like
Yeah. Which obviously all big names. We weren't particularly fond of what any of them did.
Yeah.
All made good records, but.
See, I always prefer B-sides, and I kind of think you do as well. Like you're quite prolific. And it was always good, when you used to get a single or something, to have the bonus track, even if it was the weird experimental freak out.
Yeah. We were quite fond of those at the time.
Yeah, maybe a bit too fond in the early days.
And here's another little extra here. If you ever wondered what the rest of that sample was, there it was. No one knows where it's from, of course.
No, we've all forgotten.
Well, let's go visit Mr.
Talking of samples.
Film samples. This is probably everybody knows this is from House of Games, David Mamet film. It's Joe Mantegna and a couple of other actors whose names I don't know.
And I must confess, I only saw this quite recently, again while going through all the resources, tapes and what have you. So in my mind it was slightly different actually to what I saw.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We had to sort of edit it down. There's I think halfway through this bit of dialogue, one of the characters says he's going to go to the toilet, which
Just sort of diffusing the tension.
And a flush shortly after.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we'd just seen the film quite just before. Really.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that on this album where we were literally driving to the studio, nothing could stop us. We're literally driving to Ian's and listening to Dusty Springfield song that we saw. I Can't Wait Till I See My Baby's Face. I thought, oh yeah, that'd be a good song. Arrived and looped it 10 minutes later.
So, well, again, another makes it very much of the moment, doesn't it?
It's always a good way to work, I think.
Yeah.
Nice abrupt ending.
Yeah.
That noise is the run-out groove from the Cabaret Voltaire record.
Which one?
I think it's Do the Mussolini Head Kick.
Yeah.
It might not be. Depending on who tries to
Just in
sue
case.
me.
Yeah. The John Cage style suing.
Now here's a slightly Freddie Phillips influenced new start, I suppose we could say, to London Belongs to Me. There was an idea at one point that maybe Brian Cant would be involved, just purely because when I wanted to submit the budget, and it would say like strings, studio time, Brian Cant, just to make Martin Kelly laugh.
Yeah.
But it unfortunately didn't come to anything.
Is he going to get a credit on the sleeve notes?
I think we should give
Put
him
him on
credit,
anyway,
just
yeah.
what could have been.
Yeah.
Freddie Phillips could be added to the
The ghost.
list of influences,
Yeah.
inspirations.
So this is again a very obviously London-centric song. Something like your imagination runs wild when you're stuck in Blackburn.
Yeah.
I think our imagination was running wild mentioning Parkway and having this kind of rather
It's very overly romantic.
Romantic, yeah.
Some of these places.
But we were feeling that way at the time.
Mm.
So, we had just moved there and it was exciting. Not having to do a proper job and
That excitement still continues.
being able to cavort around.
Cavort.
Parliament
There's a lot of
Hill.
Cavort around
cavorting
Camden.
Carrying banners.
And I mean, these were the days before Britpop and singing about being, the Britishness and the stuff. But also, I don't remember much people shouting up and down for London at the time. I mean, obviously,
No.
I wasn't in London at the time, but it wasn't really let's be pro London, was it? Was there anything to be pro about apart from the music, maybe?
No, I suppose because the Tories are still in power, there's kind of everyone's a bit kind of down on Britain, ourselves included. That kind of rubbed off. There was no one was that proud of it.
It doesn't sound that bleak, though.
They were
Listen to
being
those lovely
romantic.
vibes.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's just because we just moved there and it was influenced by our environment, I suppose. Never written lyrics before. What are we going to write about? To write about what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
It's probably not much more to it than that, I would have thought.
There's a nice reference to the World of Twist earlier on, who was another band I really liked at the time.
Yeah,
Did you ever feel a kinship with bands like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
definitely.
yeah. And yeah, there's a few groups we felt kinship with. Denim were just starting up. But yeah, World of Twist. Obviously, there's a lot of Northern Soul influence in their stuff, as there was in ours. And sort of quirky synthesizer noises. The first gig we ever did with Sarah singing was supporting World of Twist at the Astoria.
Yeah, but they always had this fantastic stage sets. And, something we've always wanted to
Yeah, we're
do,
very
but never
jealous of
managed
that.
to.
I think they had a huge budget from Virgin, who
Right.
thought they were going to be like enormous. Blew it all on their stage.
I seem to remember seeing them and there was a lot of tin foil and a revolving wheel. I was going to also mention the recorder. Some fantastic recorder work in all the way through this track. And halfway through, I think it might be Ian who's playing it.
It is.
Suddenly goes, "It's ridiculously difficult." just which was there in the middle of the track, which you probably, I don't know, you couldn't quite hear, but I think maybe we should put the recorder.
Was it on the original
Yeah.
track? No. we
Yeah,
got
it's,
it.
whether you muted it just to that point.
you must have done.
I think
Was
it
he speaking through the recorder?
He's just, there's a lot of laughter, and then sort of at one point it just sounds like it becomes the most physically difficult thing he's ever done in his life, and he just goes, "This is ridiculous."
He was hanging upside down from a trapeze at the time.
He was strapped to that revolving wheel. We put a recorder panel on it at the end so everyone can hear Ian. And I must thank Ian Cat for doing such a sterling work with saving a lot of the. Should we have a round of applause?
Yeah, round of
Yes.
applause for Ian.
Thanks, Ian. Because a lot of the master tapes
Thean.
and the Thean. A lot of the master tapes, which are coming up to 20 years old, at least, there was a lot of stuff there and could play them, and they've been kept, and without that. Because
Yeah.
at the
he's
time
very
this
good
was
at
kind
keeping
of
things.
often on tape, often on a little computer, and a lot of stuff running live. So it took a while to reconstruct it actually, before I could go on and change things.
Deconstruct.
Deconstruct it again.
So this is goth.
This is
This is a definite OMD influence on here as well.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
so
the,
we're back to OMD. This is the sort of the kind of mellotron kind of choir, which is the sort of mournful choir sounds that you hear on this, and that would have been on like Architecture and Morality and Joan of Arc era OMD kind of things.
Possibly This Mortal Coil as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's weird
Mortal
into that,
Coil.
yeah.
and
Dead Can Dance.
also shoegazing, which is I think it's a Slow Dive and My Bloody Valentine we were listening to around this time as well, which I think the feedback on Stone to Say the Least, it's like the only sort of maybe clue to the fact we're
Right.
listening to My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
But, I'm very fond of feedback. But this has a sort of slow divey kind of feel to it. I
Yeah,
think.
and at the end, I think the original, maybe more so than it is now, had a real sort of cacophony of noise towards the end. But I always loved the massive build-up to this. It was just like almost painful. I mean that in a good way. But we kind of, there's a little bit of a sort of Stan Lowe, another OMD song for those who don't know. A little bit of sort of that sort of motoring thing. I kind of felt there was a bit of that in this build-up now. Bit of Chariots of Fire kind of vibe.
Yeah, that was unintentional.
Yeah,
But
OMD
again,
sounds better.
it was a difficult one to reapproach because it is what it is and it does what it does, and so it's kind of just making a bit more of it. So there's a little, there's a bit of a twist for the
There is,
person who
yeah.
knows this kind of.
A nice twist coming
well.
up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot, it was kind of done, a lot of it was done spontaneously, or at least mixed spontaneously, so we probably couldn't have done the same track again.
Twice.
Yeah. So you've done well. Piece together the bits.
And there's a surprise.
Yes.
For children. It's,
That's me and
Who are
Bob
That's
20
you.
years ago.
Yeah. So this is actually I'm up part of the children's choir, obviously separately, and the helium was brought out. But we've got Pete's
Helium budget.
Pete the engineer, Pete Hoffman's son, Jacob's in there, and Jeremy Shaw, who did a lot of the guitaring. His daughter is in there, and a couple of her school friends. So there's a cast of thousands.
Yeah.
Family affair. I know.
Family affair. We must thank them for their hard work. And also, actually on this track, there's a lot of strings. In fact, he did a few of the tracks. James Bambury, who was in the auteurs, he did some of the cellos and the like.
Yeah, it really
Good
adds
work.
a very good
Lovely.
softball, but real sounding, which is nice.
And this was this inspired by? It's an old folk song, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's a song. I think it's might just be a poem. It's a poem on the underground.
And you saw it on the underground, didn't you?
Yeah,
When it was-
yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
a trad piece, and you saw it and wrote the melody for it.
Yeah. Which I thought was all my own work, but in fact it later occurred to me was basically the guitar line from I Want to Be Adored by the Stone Roses. There you go.
It's a bit more guitar from actually a bit of a sort of Morricone sort of trying to build up some of the tension again with that's Jeremy playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Got a bit of the Roland 303,
Yeah.
a TB 303, which is well known as the acid machine, or the sound that makes that sort of squelchy noise. That's in there as well. That was in fact, didn't you make a record pre Saint Etienne with the 303?
We did,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the first thing we ever recorded.
It didn't get to the stage of being an actual record.
No,
And is no
We
one
mixed it
allowed to
though.
hear?
Yeah.
it's pretty awful. We like acid house. Let's have a go at making a record ourselves. And I've done some. I was on a dole. I'd done some work at Bam Caruso record label in St Albans, where Richard Norris was then working, and he was obviously getting into acid house as well. And actually had a Roland 303, so he lent it to us. Came down to the studio and tried to help us do something with it, but it's, I don't know, that's famously very difficult to operate, aren't they? Or is that just us? Maybe?
Yes.
We're coming out of this now into the rain and the little bells and the noise and the nice strings, and it is a bit gothy actually, thinking about it. Those goth tendencies.
Gentle goth.
Gentle goth, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
4
weekend
AD, 4 AD.
goth.
Yeah.
There was at one point, and I was trying to get the whole album to be exactly the same length as the original Foxbase. I think I missed it by about 15 seconds.
15 seconds?
Something like that. It's kind of, and the idea was some tracks would have shrunk massively and some would have gone extended. And this next track, Dilworth, is one that has extended slightly.
And benefited from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds much better than the original, I think.
There's a nice this sort of freshens you up after the gloom and doom of the end of Swallow. You get this nice, slightly Jean-Michel Jarre. With the keyboard sound.
Jarring effect.
But of course, Dilworth's theme. Who was Dilworth? Joe Dilworth.
Joe Dilworth was, he did all early photos of us. He was in Stereolab, I think, at this point, in the Faith Healers.
And at one point, though, it wasn't going to be the end of the album. There's the track Fake 88, which with Stephen Duffy.
Yeah, that would have been where like the Swallow is, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So it was
been the big epic ending song.
Oh, I see.
But it just ended up being a bit silly, I think.
It's a great track for those who haven't heard it. Or it's on the...
It's on the Foxbase album, bonus disc of Foxbase album.
We've got a token bit of Stephen right at the end of Foxbase Beta, just a little outtake where you can hear people sniggering in the background as he says,
Poor old Steve.
waffle cardigans. But yeah, I suppose it would have changed the mood somewhat, wouldn't it, if it had been on the album Fake 88, with a list of things. The whole album is kind of not about the 80s, which is quite interesting. And in terms of now, in the year 2009, the 80s power seems to be, musically everywhere. It's incredible. But this was not about the 80s, was it at all? Foxbase
No, it's the
Alpha
beginning of a
was.
new decade, and we were quite sort of keen to sort of create something new, forward-looking.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think everyone was really keen to see the back of the 80s at the time.
Right, lads, here we are. That's 1990.
Conceptual joke there. So this is the end. The journey has ended. Thanks for that, mate. I think we were gonna redo this, but by the end of it was like everyone seemed to like the fact it was so rough and ready.
Yes,
Yeah, it's in the spirit of the original.
It is in the spirit, yeah. But so that's it. That brings Foxbase Beta to an end.
And I asked her, what is anyone going to remember this decade for? She paused for a second, and then she said, waffle cardigans.
Actually, that brings Foxbase Beta to an end.
So
Technically.
Stephen Duffy's actually in the room with us. It's the first time he's said anything.
Yeah. Thanks, Stephen.
Well, thanks for listening. I'm Bob.
I'm Richard.
And I'm Pete, and we look forward to doing So Tougher.
Ridiculously difficult for what it is.